Oh, hey guys. How's it going? It's your pal Alex and Bobby Jokes. But guess who's not here, Bobby? Guess who again is not on the podcast this week?
Who could it be?
It's not you. It's not me.
Only
who is
one
the
other person, right?
Whoa, it's Chris, right? It was Chris. That was who he was. I forget because sometimes
yeah.
he's not on the podcast. So like that's but normally you'd be like, Alex, who'd you get? Don't worry, guys. I didn't get Jordan. I didn't find Phyllis. Found somebody who's never been on the podcast before that I work with every day. And I got to give her a proper intro. Nope, that's not it. That was anticlimactic.
Please welcome Dinah.
There we go. That was the Houston Dynamo press announcer announcing your name incorrect.
Yeah.
Can we call you Dinah for the whole podcast?
Way to kick me in the dick just right at the very beginning. Yeah, you can call me whatever you want. It doesn't bother me. What does bother me, though, is that the kick that I did at that Dynamo game was amazing. And nobody talks about that.
It's all about that mishap beforehand, huh?
Talk about the Dinah thing. Nobody talks about how awesome my soccer kick was. Am I a professional soccer player? No, but did I kick like one that day? Yes.
Also, is a professional soccer net not like half of the field anyway? So, if you're shooting on an open soccer net, you better be making it.
But the style of it, it got a lot of air. It
Okay.
went right in the middle.
You didn't just roll that baby in?
No.
All right.
No.
See, a lot of people do that. So I appreciate that you tried to, use some craftsmanship in your goal.
I wore Adidas. I wore the proper footwear.
Right.
I practiced.
Boots is what I believe that they're called in soccer. I've just been realizing that.
Yes, I wore Adidas boots.
Boots. Got to get your boots ready
I got my boots
for the
on.
match on the pitch with Manchester United.
Go Dynamo.
Yeah, I haven't been to a Dynamo game at the new stadium yet, and I really want to go. I when they used to play at Robertson Stadium, which isn't even around anymore.
That was before my time.
Yeah, I back when they first came over, I used to go watch them, and that was cool. They would shred up newspapers, and you'd just throw that as confetti when they'd score goals. It was pretty cool. It felt like you were recycling a little bit.
I'm not sure. I immediately feel bad for the custodians
Well,
who have to pick that up.
you knew you were working at a soccer stadium, though. So
your
you
decision.
can't expect nothing to be picked up afterwards, right?
You of all people would love a Dynamo game because
I would. It's drinking.
A huge party. It's drinking and yelling and singing and drinking.
And I like all that stuff.
And you wear a scarf.
Scarves are the best part.
Like a Dynamo orange scarf.
Right, and then you hold it up. You're like, yeah, this is a great visual for everybody that's listening and reading right now.
Yeah, you put your hands above your
for
head.
those of
and
you
shake
watching
'em.
on the YouTube gang. But you get when you usually have one fun phrase, it'll say Dynamo, and then it'll be forever orange or whatever your slogan is.
And then the main vowel you want to go with when yelling is oh, there's a lot of oh chants.
Mm-hmm. And then
Goal.
you hope that the
Go.
and then occasionally the white stripes.
Yeah.
Which I think is
Dynamo.
Dynamo.
Yeah.
That would be your favorite, I bet. 'cause
Mostly
it's
they're cheering
saying
for
your
me.
name.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was all because of the intro that we played for you, and that was Dinah. Dinah's kicked it's a first kick. Is that what
Yeah,
they
I
call
guess
it?
it's the first kick of the game. There was not a lot of people there. I don't know if it was because it was an off night or because it was too early, but
They were probably drinking in the parking lot. When
Yeah,
you were
there was
kicking,
a lot of that.
And then they were like, "Oh, game's the match." Excuse me, not the game. The match.
The match
has
on the
started.
pitch.
On the pitch.
do we
with
still
the
call it a
boots.
ball? With the boots.
It's a football.
It's a football. F-U-T.
Right, which is
B-O-L.
You really have to foot, no foot. Football's American.
So
I'm
when I
not gonna
kicked the football,
Mhm.
it was amazing. Nobody remembers that though, Alex. So thank you for giving me the outlet to tell everybody how awesome it was.
That's what we're here for. We're here to shine the light on the things that are often overlooked.
That's good. I like
And
that.
That's basically the motto of Pass the Gravy.
I like what we're doing here.
I think, sort of, maybe not. So we normally start off each podcast with a segment called Where You Been, and in said segment, we pretty much tell you where we've been. So why don't we get right to that? This is the Ladlettes. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to meet them. They're our band that performs every week. But Ladlettes, you guys
Hello, folks.
want to kick it off?
Where you been? 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 Where you gone? Where you gone? Since you been up? Where you been? Where you been? Where you been?
Yeah, they're a pretty great band. And,
Very talented.
I'm excited for you to get to see them perform finally live.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Nice to meet you.
I guess I'll start us off with where I've been. I haven't been too many places, but I did get to go see one of my favorite bands. And I saw Incubus perform a couple of weeks ago.
You've had a big month.
Yeah, it's a great month for me.
Musically.
Yeah, my two favorite bands in town within a month, and within 3 weeks I get to see both of them. I saw Incubus 2 weeks ago, and then on last Friday, I saw the Avett Brothers. They were in town at the Sugarland Smart Financial Center.
Yes.
And they put on a hell of a show. Langhorne Slim opened for them, and he was kind of doing it was just him. He didn't have his band, The Law, that's normally with him.
Okay.
And he just was kind of like storytelling, and like he'd tell like how he came up with the song, or he'd tell a little story about it. It was something that inspired him in that song, and then he'd sing it. And that was kind of a cool little like. I haven't seen a lot of those. I've seen a couple of times, and it's usually openers that are doing that. I guess Bob Dylan is kind of famous for being the storyteller, just singer guy. Is everything cool?
That was
Barney?
that was my dog.
Barney's just chilling. There was some tape right there. You
That
wanna
was his
check it out?
contribution.
Huh, really? You're a fan? Okay, cool. I'm glad he's
So-
weighing in on that.
Openers to storytell like that, I think is unique, because you would think that they would, consider themselves to be like, oh, I should probably just play my songs and hurry up and get out of here, and I'm nervous and I don't know. So it's cool. I'm not familiar with that person or band.
Langhorne Slim. I mean, I knew who he was. I'm not a crazy fan of his. I don't really listen to all of his stuff or anything, but I've listened to him before. But he's pretty solid, and it was just cool. And I guess it's just because he didn't have anybody else with him that you would. Like, he doesn't have like a music track behind him or anything, so he's like, I might as well entertain while I am performing, because you can't.
Yeah, I like that.
You're very limited with an acoustic guitar when you sing folk songs. Bless you.
I was gonna try to hide that, but then
You can't hide these. We don't have dump buttons or
I just decided to
cough
go
mics.
for it. So I went to your Smart Financial, right?
Yeah.
Smart Financial.
Had never been
Center.
there before, and it's I mean, we saw it before it opened and everything, but I had never
Yeah.
seen a show there.
So I saw Dave Matthews and Tim Reynolds. It was just the two of them playing acoustic hits.
Okay.
And it was the same thing. Like, they were super storytellers. It was very intimate. Dave got a little political here and there, which is whatever. I mean, we can argue about that all day long. But my point is that venue provides an area for people to get intimate. Like,
Yeah, and they can like bring those
tell
walls
some
in.
stories. Yeah, like, I don't know what it is about that place, but obviously it makes bands want to just hang out with us.
Yeah, it was tight.
Tell you guys stories.
It wasn't the best I had seen the Avett Brothers. I had saw them at Free Press, I want to say 2012 I saw them, and that was the best I've ever seen them.
Yeah.
But this was a pretty solid showing
Cool.
by the Avett Bros. So I was glad I got to go see that. Then I, the next morning, got to wake up bright and early and hang out with you and your dog Barney again, and we handed out backpacks to kids for a charity that really, it's Rod Ryan's charity that we just help out with, because he is the person that leads it all and does all of the hard work, and we just show up and act pretty.
We just show up and wear the t-shirts. And I did get in a bit of an altercation.
Oh, really?
With somebody there.
Ah, yes. I like that. I was like, what? What did she? Oh, yeah. No, I remember this. Oh, the one time anybody yelled that day. Okay. You didn't really yell either. You just
I sternly spoke with her in
clapped back
in a heightened voice. I clapped back. There was this woman, okay, and she stole Phyllis's job, which was to give the mothers in the cars driving the kids around to get their backpacks. Phyllis was giving the moms flowers just to say, hey, I appreciate you.
right.
You are loved, and you deserve this flower. And for some reason, some woman came up and stole the flowers and that position from Phyllis.
That ain't cool.
And Phyllis's take on it was, well, it's a charity event. I don't want to get in a fight. Well, I didn't have that same philosophy. So I saw her whispering things from afar. I saw her whispering things about our group, which was everybody in our show and some salespeople and Barney. And I said, excuse me, what did you say? And she kind of did the whole smiling, back away. I'm sorry, I got caught. I didn't mean for you to hear that. I don't want to get in a confrontation type of thing. So I kept poking her. And basically she just walked away scared because I called her out. You don't talk mess about our crew. That just doesn't happen.
We got each other's back. You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us.
Can I curse on this, by the way?
You fucking can.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You can't talk shit about, we're doing charity. Like,
right.
Why are you over here not listening to people and stealing their flower jobs?
I have an answer for you, because there was a camera there with Newsfix, and she wanted to be the dancing girl that was all happy and excited.
And
we were
she
closest to the
was.
cameras, which is why she did that.
Yes. Oh, okay, I get it.
Because then she started getting in there first, whereas like the flowers were supposed to be the last thing that was handed out before they pulled away, and then she got in there first and was chit-chatting while everybody's trying to hand backpacks to kids, being like, let's
It
go.
was too much.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
It was all in good intentions, I would assume, but they're not great execution.
No, yeah.
And she also did the thing that I don't understand, like where if somebody's breaking my balls, like I don't know, like this is an unfamiliar group for me, and they seem like they're just picking, not like they're just trying to have a good time, but like they're really like razzing me, kind of like we were like, Phyllis, aren't you supposed to be handing out flowers? Like we were loudly doing that, like instead of just like, okay, they don't want me here, I'm just gonna move on. She like stayed, and it was obvious she knew that it was uncomfortable for everyone else.
Yeah, and none of us have any problem confronting people.
Right. We're more like, we're fun. That's fun for us.
Yeah. Like we're all type A's.
All right.
Like we're good with this. And we all said something to her, and she just completely ignored everyone. And that I had to shut that down.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did, because who knows what could have happened. I mean, I don't think much could have happened, but who knows?
I probably not much. Like she clearly wasn't the type to fight back.
She was a beta. Let's just
verbally, verbally or physically. I wasn't gonna physically fight, although I could.
Right. You know how to kickbox.
I know how to kickbox. I will box your face. I will roundhouse kick your face.
Nobody wants that.
I can make these things happen.
Which
is
is
cool
like the female
because
version of Floyd Mayweather.
It gives me a lot more confidence now. Now that I can like walk up to people and be like, "What did you say to Phyllis?" I will fucking kill you. No, I really will. I'll roundhouse kick your face.
And then nobody wants to mess with you. But like you've also got like the upper hand, because like nobody wants, like, even if somebody does try and fuck with you, like I wouldn't expect you to be able to just like turn around and just roundhouse kick me and just beat the shit out of me, but you can.
Right?
And it's like, oh fuck.
And that's a lot. Like you probably see a lot more of these videos online. Like this guy threw a punch, but he didn't know the guy was an MMA trained fighter. Like, because those you can't always tell.
Yeah.
For example, we've had a couple of the guys in. I don't remember any of their names right now, but you would look at him and be like, "Oh yeah, that guy's tall," or "Oh yeah, that guy like
that Alex Morano guy that came in. He looked just like a guy.
Yeah, that
looked like
kid.
a guy. And if you told me he like played like D2 football and was a linebacker there, I'd be like, okay. I mean, he's pretty buff.
He probably played sports
Works
in high
out.
school, but no, like he could literally murder you.
Right, and
with his own hands.
Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, the flyweight champion of the UFC, just doesn't look like, he just looks like a guy. He's just a short little dude, and you're like, that guy just seems like a dude in a hoodie, but like he could kick your ass and he never loses. So
if you're drunk in a bar
don't mess
and
with
you
him.
throw a punch, and you're gonna get your ass handed to you, and that's what will happen to me too. I will kill you.
That's what you gotta do. And then hopefully somebody has it on video and yells "World Star" at the end, and then you're famous.
I train with a Ukrainian boxing coach.
How great is that?
Chain smokes while he trains me. It's the greatest.
You kick again.
You throw roundhouse kick, and then you throw jab. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Do you feel like you're training with like the bad guy from Rocky?
I do, yeah, which makes me happy. Who wants to train with the good guy?
I don't know. People like to win.
Didn't Rocky lose that?
Well,
that one?
I mean, he won in the end.
Apollo Creed?
I don't know. Who died first?
That's a good point.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
Exactly. And he had to live on through his son, who I don't know if he won or not because I didn't watch that movie all the way through.
The kid from Heroes? Milo?
Vince from Friday Night Lights. Michael B. Jordan is his name, I think.
Oh, that Rocky. Oh, Apollo Creed's son. Yeah. Okay.
Adonis.
So...
There we go.
Okay, so I saw that movie, but I can't remember if he wins or not. It was a pretty good movie.
He probably wins, right?
Probably wins, yeah. And there's probably going to be a
You
sequel.
always win the first one, then you lose the second one to set up the third one. Unless it's the Mighty Ducks, then you just win all three.
So Apollo's son, it was like a rich kid because he grew up with his mom with all the Apollo money.
Right.
And then he went to train in the poor side of town.
With Rocky's dude.
With Rocky.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't remember if he wins. I'm sure he does.
I think he wins. I mean, if Rocky's training you, how are you going to lose?
That's true.
You're going to let down the whole Creed and Balboa legacy with that.
Why would you do that? Why
He
would you do
definitely
that?
won. So
and
that's
he wore
us
the
knowing the rest
shorts,
of
the Apollo shorts.
Yeah.
The like American flag or whatever. Okay.
So that was Creed that we don't really remember the end to, but hopefully we filled it in for you. Bobby Jokes, where have you been? I know have you had school start this week?
I did. It started yesterday, Monday.
What grade are you in?
10th. He's in 10th grade.
No, I go to the University of Houston.
What year are you?
Junior.
Eat 'em up cats, right?
Oh, that's Go Cougs. You know, Cats is Sam Houston, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
but we'll be cool with that too. So you're in 15th grade.
Yeah. That's what it is. Just been going back to school. I have Tuesday. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to do the podcast anymore, but I managed to work out my schedule where Tuesday is the only day where I don't have classes.
Oh, so like you can work your schedule, but Chris,
Yeah.
who's a co-host, can't. Huh.
Interesting.
Says a lot.
That's priorities for
Thanks
you.
for making sacrifices, Bobby.
No problem.
Where is Chris? Can we talk about that?
He's working.
Oh, okay. He's
I mean, he's like actually like doing something.
getting-
He's not just hanging
getting
out.
paid.
Yeah. Probably way more money than he'd be making right here anyway. So like we're cool with that, but it's fun to give him a hard time about it. And so like you started this week, you've got every day but today is you got classes.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite class so far? I guess you've only been to
I've
one.
only been to one.
So that's your
So I guess
favorite,
that one.
obviously.
Yeah.
What class was that?
Survey of IT applications.
That does not
Jesus.
sound fun.
No, it sounds awful.
I'm excited for tomorrow's class though, which is venue transmedia, where like I can like figure out how to do live events kind of things, like board.
Like you got the
switching.
board in the middle of the whole room. That's
Mhm.
pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that is cool. That's a skill that I wish I had. Like you can run the board at concerts and stuff like that. Like that could be.
You
I
can
mean,
just be like
you're-
on call at a bunch of different jobs and be
Yeah.
hired like to do one specific thing.
Not to mention,
Contract labor,
it's a
I
very
suppose.
important party skill to have because those soundboards get fucked up all the time. Does anybody know how to run this? You can be like, hell yeah, I do.
And then everybody likes
Excuse
you.
me, ladies, let me fix this for you, and then wink at them, and then they're yours.
I just turn the power on, off and off again.
Uh-huh.
That's what it was.
I don't know. It's broken.
At least like turn some buttons around, make it look
Oh,
like
yeah, of course.
you're working hard.
Yeah, the cool part about that class is it's at a church in Sugarland, so we actually get hands-on, training at.
From Jesus.
From Jesus himself.
Jesus himself is there, right?
Yeah, Tim
He's
Tebow's
always
there.
with us. If you think, I mean, he is Jesus.
And that's where I've been.
Nice. It's a pretty solid back to school where you've been. I don't think we've had any of those yet, so you're the first. Way to go, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, Dinah, we normally would just get you to tell us like where you've been lately, but since you've never been on the podcast, I kind of am interested in, and everybody else is interested in kind of finding out how Dinah P. Hours got from where she started out to the Rod Ryan show and now
Okay.
past the gravy.
So where have I been for the past 15 years edition?
Basically,
you
yeah.
want. Okay. So I grew up in South Carolina. Common misconception is that I grew up in Florida. I do not
Lived in
claim
Florida.
I just lived there
Right.
for a short period of time.
Okay.
It did not stick on me at all. Not at all.
You didn't do meth once. How many times did you do meth? Be honest.
I did it.
Be
I
honest.
did some drugs, but I had never done meth. I have never done meth. I have never done heroin.
Okay.
That's where that
All right. Well,
conversation stops.
I mean,
That's about all I can say.
well, you
I've
can't
never
be
done those
a
two.
true Floridian, I don't believe, until you've done meth, right?
Yeah. Let's do that. Or if you've been bitten by an alligator.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
There are a lot of drugs in Florida. Like they're everywhere. They're in the bathrooms. They are at your friends'
They just
houses.
find you
They're
sometimes.
just everywhere. And I've lived in a couple of different places, and I've never seen it
They're
like
at your
it
friend's
was in
house
Florida.
that you choose to hang out with on a regular basis.
So funny story. I started hanging out with some friends because I liked one of the dudes in the mix, right?
Okay.
So I'm hanging around him and his friends, and I remember it was Christmas break ish because my brother came to stay with my parents in Florida. So I was hanging out with my brother and I was taking him around with these friends that I had just made, and we closed down the bar. And the group of friends says, hey, let's go back to so and so's house. My brother and I are young at the time. We're like, yeah, all right, let's do that. So we go back to this guy's house, and there is a plate of cocaine being passed around.
Nice.
And my brother, who is a lot more well-behaved than I am, he just looked at me horrified. He's like, this is what you're doing in Florida? And I was like, no, I'm sorry. I had no idea. I like that guy over there. And the guy putting blow up his nose. Yeah, maybe this is not such a good idea.
No, he's just doing it to stay focused.
Yeah, he just wants to
He's
stay
having
awake.
trouble sleeping. Or staying awake, yeah.
Yeah, so that type of thing. There was also another. I learned eventually to stop going over to people's houses when the bar is closed. When the bar is closed, you need to just go home. Because I was at another person's house, and they were essentially making crack. They were cooking the cocaine with something. I don't remember. Baking soda?
Probably.
Sugar?
We'll go with it, yeah.
don't
All of
know.
it. All of the above.
And they were like, and I remember going, does anybody have any weed? And and this guy handed me a crack pipe, and he goes, no, smoke this. I was like, really, dude? That's the opposite of weed. That is the opposite of what I asked for. No. So yeah, eventually I learned that lesson. Don't go to people's houses after a bar.
It's probably pretty smart.
Unless you're trying to hook up.
Right.
And even in that
but
case.
then it's like you go with like them and you
go with
not
them.
with a group of friends.
Don't do that. It's just asking for trouble. But I digress. I had various majors in college, and I landed on broadcasting and journalism. And one of my teachers suggested that I intern for a morning show over in Tampa. And I listened to the radio, but wasn't like a huge radio person. Like it never was something I thought about.
What did you did you have any idea of what you wanted to do?
I wanted to work in movies, like either writing screenplays or directing or something like that, because that's something that I've always loved, is movies and reading movie reviews and going to film festivals and stuff like that. And I like the snobby, like foreign or Woody Allen ones. Like saying, the book was so much better, you guys. Jeez.
You like being that guy? That's always fun.
So that's what kind of led me into like the entertainment aspect of life. And so I went to that radio school or whatever, and one of my teachers suggested I do the intern thing, and I did, and I really liked it. And I didn't mind doing the morning thing so much, but I was also bartending at the time.
Ooh.
So I was getting very little sleep, but I was 20, so it didn't matter. You don't need sleep when you're 20.
You had cocaine too, so like all you do is right?
I did not do cocaine.
I was just trying to put two and two together. Florida, cocaine,
I mean, like not before
radio,
work.
I get
anyway.
it.
Like not before work. Like that's too much.
That was what I did after when I wanted to go back out.
And I just, here I am. I guess I did about 5.5 years of radio in Tampa, and it was much, much different than it is here. It was like, I hate to use the term shock jockey, but it was at
That's
times.
a word for it, yeah.
Yeah, at times we did some crazy stuff. I kidnapped a homeless woman once.
What?
Yeah, so it was the Tampa Bay Rays were in the World Series.
Okay.
Playing who?
The Rays were playing the Rockies, I believe, then.
Okay, nice job, sports guy. So we had a pair of tickets to give away. I don't remember either.
No, because they didn't win it, and the Rockies.
The Rays didn't win.
The Phillies. So they played the Phillies. It was Rays,
Mm.
Phillies.
Oh, you have a computer, so I'll talk. So we had a pair of tickets to the World Series to give away. It was in our town, and we were broadcasting from a sports bar right by Tropicana Field, which is where the Rays played, which is where Game 1 of the World Series was being.
In 2008.
done. Yeah.
Yeah, Rays, Phillies.
Rays, Phillies. Okay. So, people are calling in and they're like, I'll do anything for tickets. I'll do anything. We're like, yeah, of course. But you need to come up with what you're going to do. Like, you can't just say I'll do anything. And this guy called in and he said, I will take the fattest, ugliest chick that you can have, that you can find. And I'll take her as my date to the World Series if you give me the tickets. We're like, okay, we like where you're going with this, but we can't exactly pluck the fattest, ugliest chick off the street and say, hey, you're fat and ugly. Do you want to come into our studio and then go to the World Series? So my host, Mike, came up with this thing, like, we're going to get a homeless woman for you to take to the World Series, and that's how you'll go. So he agreed to it. And the deal was he was supposed to show up to the bar that we were broadcasting from. We were going to introduce them, and then he would take her to the World Series. So I go to the homeless park in St. Petersburg, Florida, with my Ford Explorer, and I look for a homeless woman to kidnap and take her to this bar.
Do you take bait? Do you have anything besides, I guess, World Series tickets?
I didn't have it in my hand, and she probably didn't care. I had some cash on me because I figured that would be the best way to cajole her into coming with me. So eventually, I asked a couple women who said no or didn't say anything at all. One of them tried to bite me. That was scary.
It's aggressive.
And I know, right? And I finally got a woman to agree to it. She just shook her head yes. She couldn't speak because she had meth mouth. No teeth. So the saddest part about this was, I kept asking her name and she goes, "Merp, merp, merp, merp." So we named her Gleep Glop. And the saddest part about it, though, was she handed me her driver's license to tell me her name.
That was her actual name.
And that was her actual name. It was
her parents were aliens.
It was the craziest thing. No, her name was Paula something, and the picture on the driver's license was of a normal, beautiful woman, and she just did meth and ruined her life and teeth. So I felt really bad. So her in her urine-soaked blanket climbed into my Ford Explorer. I took her to the event that we were broadcasting. And I fed her 2 hot dogs. We gave her a Cowhead Show t-shirt, and that was my show at the time.
Uh-huh.
And the guy never showed. The World Series ticket guy that said he would take her to the game never showed. So I just dropped her off in the middle of the woods somewhere. She was like...
In the middle of the woods? Out you go. Just figure it out. I don't know.
But I gave her $20. We fed her 2 hot dogs. We gave her a new shirt.
That works in the middle of the woods. There's usually shops and places you can spend money in woods.
And I was going to take her back to the park where I found her, but she goes, "Murr," and she pointed, gesturing.
You assumed that meant...
As if, drop me off here, please. Thank you.
You had like a whole different language with this lady.
Yes. Cleep clop. So that was the time I kidnapped a homeless woman, and it's a great story to tell. And I don't feel bad about it anymore, although I did for a while.
I mean, she was homeless. What was she going to do that day anyway?
True.
Like, probably more meth.
True.
So you saved her if you think about it.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you. You just made me feel good
And then
about
maybe like maybe she's sober now. You know, maybe she found a way to get some new teeth or a grill because she couldn't afford teeth but got a grill. Or maybe she just got some of those like Halloween teeth because, you know, you got to chew with something
like
at
the
some
vampire
point.
lips?
Yeah, but you don't always have to get the vampire ones.
Yeah.
They have hillbilly ones, which are probably still better than meth mouth. But
yeah, because at least you have 2 teeth.
Right, it's a couple.
2 teeth is better than no teeth.
That's got to be tough to just gum all your food. But maybe she was like, you know, I think that they were using me for some stunt because of my life decisions. So maybe I'm just done with it.
She turned her life around.
Yeah, she turned it around. She wanted to go to the woods to get sober.
Gleep glop, if you're out there.
There's no drugs in the woods.
You send me an email. Dinah@thebuzz.com.
She probably listens, too.
Let me
we
know
have a
you're
lot
okay.
of ex-homeless people listening to this podcast. Probably the #1 podcast listened to by ex-homeless people.
Pass the gravy, #1 with homeless people.
And ex-homeless people.
You should make a t-shirt. And ex-homeless people, yeah.
We could do that. We've been trying to get a lot of t-shirts to go hand out to homeless people, but we need to get those like neon colored ones so they won't get, because I think they got to have those vests now.
Oh, so they won't get hit by a car.
I mean, honestly, I don't think we should like if you're going to be in the middle of the street and you get hit by a car and like you're not really contributing, okay. Whoa. Is that bad? Is that bad though? Or is that like one less problem we have?
I mean, I see what you're saying.
We're
However,
overpopulated. We need to thin the herd.
It's a human life.
It's a human life.
There's that argument.
It's not really contributing in any way.
So, you know.
I mean, it's not wrong, is it?
Is this like old people abortion?
A little bit, but it's kind of like Darwinism too. It's like you didn't wear a vest and then you stood and you got hit by a car because you were being a dumbass in the street. That's on you, bro.
Okay, so it's Darwinism. I
like
see where you're
people that like that freeze outside because it's too cold. Like go into a fucking homeless shelter. Yeah, go to those.
But then
they have blankets.
say, I don't know. What is their argument? Is the Star of Hope a good place? You should go there and spend the night.
I could do that. I would try that.
A human experiment.
All right.
Don't bring anything valuable.
I won't.
Okay.
I might bring like a knife.
Pass out some t-shirts.
Yeah. Hey guys, this is my favorite podcast. You guys should check it out. You have on your smartphones? Oh, you don't have those. Okay.
Oh.
Well, maybe you could do YouTube. No, you don't have those either. Okay. Well, don't worry. Robert transcribes everything we say.
There you go.
And then
Pass
we send
out
out an entire thing.
like a handbook.
We have a lot of readers to the podcast too, so
Okay.
a lot of people forget that every single one of these words we're saying right now, like I'm saying right now, even Gleep Glarp has probably been translated into to English.
So that's GLEEPGOP.
That's good.
I'm sorry, GLOP. It's Gleep Glop.
Okay, excuse me.
Get it right.
But the readers are already going to know this by now, and this is just a moot point that we're discussing.
Oh, okay.
So
All right, so we can move on.
we're really on every medium.
Right.
So you dropped the homeless lady off in the woods.
So yeah, sorry. I was getting excited.
I honestly don't know how you can top that story. That was a pretty solid one.
I can't really top that story. Let's see here. I would like to move on from all things back in those times, actually.
Okay.
I did some crazy things. It was one of those times in radio history where I was an intern at the time, so you could make your interns do whatever you wanted. And it was funny. I don't know if they still do that or not. Probably.
That was back when interns didn't get paid, right?
Yeah, no, we didn't get paid.
So where you can't be like, oh, well, you were paying your intern to do this, your intern was on the clock and like you weren't like I mean I didn't have to do anything crazy like that, but I know that like before they paid interns you could pretty much get away with everything.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
And now it's like, well, we're either doing that on company time.
We're so nice to our interns. Like, I can't even believe it.
Our intern has hosted this podcast twice with me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like, that's how much we love our interns. We have good interns, too.
We rarely send him to get food for us.
We used to back in the day, though, and I feel like we've kind of backed off.
We've backed off on that. I used to have to drive off campus every single morning and go to multiple places to get food from my superiors. Yes.
Not just a Starbucks run?
But I feel like that was my duty as an intern, you know? I was cutting my teeth. Is that what they say? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I have no regrets.
I think it's funny when people bitch about intern stuff. It's like, yeah, you're an intern, man. You're gonna do that's what you're there for.
Yeah, that's what you
they
do.
don't want to do. Like, we'll hire an intern. Okay, that's what you're there for, and then you can hopefully gain experience.
It's like when you're,
I think now internships are meant to 100% gain experience, and back in the day they were just excuses to have like an errand boy.
Yes, precisely. It's kind of like when you're a teenager and you're bitching about your shitty job. You're a teenager. Like, you have to have
15.
shitty jobs.
It's not going to be fun.
Like, that's part of what builds your character. Like, I'm not trying to get off your lawn, but, like, we all had shitty jobs. Mm-hmm. I bagged groceries for $6 an hour. You had a couple of them, too. I bagged
groceries for $5.25 an hour.
Even worse.
I had to push carts out all the time. That's why I have had that deep-rooted hatred of people that do not put their goddamn carts back in the fucking corral when they shop. You're an asshole, and you might as well support ISIS if you don't do that. Like seriously, it is the easiest thing in the fucking world to do. Just it's got wheels on it. It's not like you have to lift anything. Just roll it. Just roll it.
That's all you have to do. It takes another 30 seconds of your day. Please, for the love of God, please return your cart. I agree with Alex. So I kind of just let's see here. I wanted a bit of a change, so I started looking around for other cities that were hiring for radio superstars, and I applied to a couple places in California. I remember I applied to a place in Fargo, North Dakota.
Ooh.
I figured I liked the movie.
Right? I mean, I'm sure it's the exact same. I think there's a lot of murder in the movie, though, so that's not a great town.
I could wear a parka. Oh, that's true. I could wear a parka and hopefully not get murdered. And I applied for places back in my hometown, which I'm glad that didn't work out because I would just be like back to being a beach bum. And I applied here in Houston to the Rod Ryan Show.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, have you? It's a pretty good show.
My favorite morning show.
Pretty good show. I really like the female co-host. She's awesome.
She's pretty cool.
And I immediately called my buddy Ralphie May, who I knew had some history here in Houston. And I said, hey, buddy. He answered the phone, too.
Dinah!
How are you, baby? I love you. Hey, Ralphie, can you, do you know who Rod Ryan is? And he goes, yeah, he's my buddy. I said, all right, cool. I just applied for his co-host position. Could you call him and tell him how awesome I am, please? Yeah, baby, I got you. No problem. So he called Rod, and the story goes, Rod claims that phone call got me from the maybe pile to the yes pile.
Nice.
And then they flew me out, and I auditioned with 4 other girls, but we auditioned on separate days.
Were you like listening to their days when you weren't hosting, or were you not in town when that was happening?
So I wasn't in town, but I had the iHeart Radio app. But I was also working at the grouper place.
Yeah.
I was working a lot. It was summertime, and that was the busy season. So I would listen when I could, which was on the way to work.
Were you just judging the shit? That cunt doesn't know anything about news.
Yeah, like I was totally judging.
I would totally do it way better than that.
Like,
yeah.
I would do better than that. I'm way more natural than that. I'm definitely more funny than all of them put together. So I went in pretty confidently. and
it worked.
It did work. Here
Worked out.
Here I am. They called me a week later and said, and Rod called me, and I remember I pulled over on the side of the road. I was driving home from Frenchie's Seafood. I pulled over, and he told me that I got the job, and I was very excited. And I went out and got drunk that night.
As you should.
Celebratory drunk. And then a week after that, I moved. I packed up my VW
Beetle out of there.
And I peaced out. See ya, Florida. Never go back.
But you have been back.
I mean, to visit my parents. Yeah. I mean, obviously.
You don't want to just go visit, never go see the old station, just be like, hey, guys.
I keep in touch with my old host. I do. And I'm friends on Facebook with some of the people that I used to work with. There's no bad blood there,
That's
but
good.
but I would never work there again.
Yeah.
I was just underpaid, and I became very bitter about it.
A lot of times you just need a change of scenery to get
Definitely.
away from that stuff. And even if
Definitely.
it is something similar to that, like,
Yeah.
you know, like that's just, you need to work with different people at different times sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of the things that I know about timing and humor and just speaking, also doing interviews, I owe to my old host Mike, because I consider him like one of the best interviewers I've ever seen, and I try to do interviews like he does. He doesn't, I mean, I think that he prepped a little bit, but he doesn't have like a list in front of him. He'll just talk to you like he's like we're talking to each other right now, which is how I always like to do my interviews. Just like it's a friendly conversation. Not like, so, question number 1, question number 2, question number 3.
I get so scared when I have and I've only done a couple of those like private performance interviews and stuff like that, and I like our weenie or BuzzFest, not really weenie roast, but like I've only done a couple of those. But like I'm always so nervous that like I'm going to, for some reason, just forget everything that I know about said person that I'm talking to. Like even if it's like a band I like when I interviewed Atlas Genius, I love Atlas Genius, and I was like, okay, like I got all this stuff, but I wrote like 2 pages of just notes, just were scribbled by the time I had rewritten stuff and written over other questions and crossed out questions that were too stupid to ask. And like I was like, why am I like, I know enough about the band, like why do I do that? But like I always feel like I have to have something. And then like I was trying to condense it down to like a note card so it didn't look like I was looking at a book on like the stage. But I'm so bad at like I envy people that can just hop up and be like, yeah, what's up? All right, so let me interview now. Like I envy those kind of people. Because I'm always in my head about it, and I always have to like over prepare for shit and waste time doing it. And I know I'm doing more than I should, but it's just like I guess it makes me feel safe doing that.
I mean, and there's something to be said about being well prepared for your interviews.
But it's almost like overly prepared, and it's wasteful because I don't get anything out of it after a certain point, you know? Like and if it's a 5-minute interview, like I'll be like, I could have done a 10.5-hour interview if I wanted to because I did all of this shit. Like I don't need to know your baby's name. I don't fucking need to know that. But like I always am like, well, I don't know. What if he mentions his baby? I'll be like, oh, it's so and so. Like, I don't know. I get in my head about interviews. Interviews freak me the fuck out.
Yeah, well, that used to be me too. That'll get better the more you do them.
Right.
The more you interview the bands that you like, you'll get more comfortable with it. But, I mean, my advice to you would be to do as many as you can, A, and B, don't prep so much, but don't have so many questions. Just focus on 5 really good questions, and also think about what directions those questions could go in. Because one thing that I still struggle with is, you know, say I ask you, you're Fred from Limp Bizkit. Why is that the first thing that just popped in my head?
He's awesome.
All right, Fred, I'm asking you about your TRL days with Carson Daly, and I used to watch you back then, and da-da-da-da-da. You know, tell me what that was like. So while he's answering his question, I don't want to be in my head thinking about the next question. I want to be listening. So there's a balance there.
That's the
that
hardest
you have
part.
to find. I know. That's why I brought this up. I know it's so hard for me too. But you have to do that. You have to have one
You gotta
half
have
of your
something
brain
in the back of your mind ready to go
ready
in
to
case
go.
he ends it right then. But you've also
Exactly.
got to be able to be, okay, and speaking of that, and then be able to jump to a question that you didn't even plan on asking.
Yeah, precisely, because if he has this great answer, A, you want to listen to it because you want to be there in the conversation. And then you want to be prepared for a follow-up question. Because it's kind of weird when somebody's doing an interview and the person answers the question and you go, great, now tell me about your new album.
Tight. Okay, so.
Right, but I've just given you, like, I've just poured my heart out to
What
you,
else?
and you just said right and moved on into a completely different direction. Like, I just think that that's so non-conversational and so awkward. So there's some
cringe
sort
when I
of
hear stuff
balance
like that.
there. Yeah. It's like left brain, right brain shit, where you just have to be like, okay, so I'm kind of listening, but I know that I have this backup question. But that's another good reason about writing your 5 questions down. And then just putting like keywords. So, you know, all right, I know my second question is about his new deal with Apple. So I'm going to listen to him answer my question because all I have to do is glance down and that'll remind me of my second question. So that's a good tip too. Just write down like 5
Just bullet
keywords
points.
to remind you of your next questions.
That's smart.
I'm very smart.
Look at Dinah, just giving us interviewing 101.
All my tips.
Bobby Jokes, you said you didn't have a class on Tuesdays. Guess what you just had? That's yourself.
Fucking class.
A motherfucking class right there. So now you are on the Rod Ryan Show every morning from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. And you hang out with me and Rod.
It's the best.
and Phil. Yeah, it's a fun little group we got.
It is fun. Yeah, it's a very casual atmosphere. We all get along.
There's a lot of shows that don't. There's a lot of shows that don't, and like just slowly, like as you see shit, like they're like, oh wait, they're not like getting along, or you realize people are having like they don't like their co-host or they're shit talking somebody. You're like, I fucking love everybody I work with. I'm so happy that this is what we're doing.
Really? Yeah, that would suck. That would make work not fun.
Mm-hmm.
That would make work not
Dinah
fun.
really doesn't like me, but she's just saying it because it looks good on my podcast, and I asked her to just suck it up and pretend that we were friends.
He's paying me.
I'm paying her. So just take that with a grain of salt. All right. Well, that was solid. Where you been then?
Yeah, that was a lot.
Thank you for telling us the homeless story. That was pretty great.
I thought you'd like that.
I did.
And it was sports related.
Yeah.
Which I feel you'd appreciate as well.
I love sports. Okay. Well, let's get into our next segment. Before we do that, I got to tell you guys about Blue Apron. It's the #1 fresh ingredient and recipe delivery service in the country. Blue Apron established partnerships with over 150 local farms, fisheries, and ranchers across the United States, and as a result, that means that you're getting the freshest ingredients delivered right to your door. You can create incredible meals in the kitchen in 40 minutes or less. Each week, customers are going to receive a refrigerated box that contains all of the ingredients they need. Boxes contain cards that highlight seasonal crops and supplier stores, and each set of ingredients corresponds with its own recipe card that's got instructions, pictures, and helpful cooking tips. Cooking together builds stronger family bonds, and research shows that Blue Apron families cook nearly 3 times as often. Those families that spend a lot at restaurants and high-end grocery chains can now spend under $10 a person for a delicious meal. If you wanted to order Blue Apron this week, let me just give you some of the stuff you're going to be cooking up then. How about some sautéed beef and roasted eggplant, some barbecue baked chicken, cornmeal crusted shrimp po' boys, fried eggs and French green lentils, vegetable lo mein, and fontina and ricotta calzones. Hey, Bobby, that was like the first one I didn't fuck up any of the words on.
Yeah,
You did a good job.
Usually they've got some weird food that I don't know what that is. So Fizzigoli noodles or whatever. But yeah, you can get all that stuff with Blue Apron. And here's the deal we've got for you. If you go to blueapron.com/PTG to get $30 off your first order, that's blueapron.com/PTG. We're literally giving you $30 in free food. Go to blueapron.com/PTG. Blue Apron, a better way to cook. And also, this podcast is brought to you by MeUndies. You can elevate your underwear game with MeUndies. You perfected your wardrobe, but what about the stuff that not everybody gets to see? If you've been settling for store-bought 5-packs, I've got something that can change your life for the better. I'm talking about MeUndies. What's the first thing you put on and the last thing you take off every day, Dinah?
My undies.
It would be your underwear. Make the most important piece of clothing the best it can be with MeUndies. What is MeUndies? Well, we just fucking told you guys. Just seriously soft, feel-good undies that are delivered right to your door. MeUndies are designed in LA and made from sustainably sourced micro-modal, a fabric that's 3 times softer than cotton. And if you're not ready for a subscription, that's okay. You can still save because MeUndies is offering you 20% off your first order when you go to MeUndies.com/podcast. So go ahead, revamp your underwear drawer today. You deserve it. Once again, that's MeUndies.com/podcast, MeUndies.com/podcast. All right. Next up, we've got a little segment we call Comeback Kid. And within that, we have a Mount Rushmore of something. And we usually pick a stupid sports story to do a Mount Rushmore of. And right now, what I'm really doing is just stalling until I can find the band to fucking get out and, help us out here. But here we go. I got it. This is the segment we like to call Comeback Kid of the Week.
It's the comeback kid. The comeback kid of the week. The comeback kid of the week. Bitch.
Got aggressive there.
Yeah, well, I mean, they get really excited when they get that stand-up bass, and I got them that for like one time. They're like, "Look, we got a new segment for you," and they came out with a new segment.
Now, do they bring that bass with them every time, or do they leave it here?
Yeah, I mean, this tiny. We bought a tiny house, and
Yeah.
we turned it into a tiny studio.
Right.
And, like, we don't really have a lot of room.
There's not a lot of room.
There's not much at all, so we couldn't just store a bass.
Okay, yeah, just wanted to know. Just
Yeah,
asking.
but like they're real troopers for carrying it in and out every week. But
that can't be lightweight.
I'm loving that bass line, and I had somebody text me the other day. My friend Pat was like, "Dude, I got Comeback Kid, the intro stuck in my head," and I was like, "That's my favorite intro, I think,
I
of
like
our whole
it.
podcast."
I'm a fan of the stand-up bass.
Yeah,
I'm a big
It's
fan.
very underrated, and I think I'm an Avett Brothers fan too, so like that kind of plays part of it. But Like, just to stand up anything is kind of dope.
I used to bartend at this place, and one of the bands that we featured every week had a stand-up bass, and the guy, the stand-up bass player, he would climb atop the stand-up
awesome.
bass and still playing it. It was awesome.
Like, actually, like, wrapping his feet around it and everything?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
what?
not sure how it worked
I thought you meant he had, like, a stool he'd climb up on while he was still playing.
He
but
would get up on the bass.
That's insane.
Yeah. I don't know
We
how
got
it
to
worked.
find video of that.
I can't remember the
All
name
right.
of the band.
So the comeback kid of the week is basically, stuff that's not been in the news lately. That's back this week. And let's start off with a couple of things like the moon, the sun, and eclipses are basically they're back this week.
Yeah, people were very into
everybody was talking about the motherfucking eclipse. Like, oh hey, did you know that the sun gets blocked out? I was like, I know what an eclipse is.
Yeah.
And also I've seen pictures of eclipses.
Don't look at it
But-
with your eyes.
Yeah, fucking betas saying that shit. I fucking stared at the sun. I'm fine.
Your eyes are really bloodshot right now.
Well, that was because I was smoking weed before the podcast. No, not really. But yeah, eclipses are back. Everybody was freaking out, losing their shit over that stuff. I looked up, saw it. That was cool. I was cool with that, and I kept going by.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
did the rest of my day. I don't understand why people needed to take off. Like, I mean, that's not my thing. I get that. Like, maybe you're a super big astronomy guy, but that's not my cup of tea, and I don't feel like wasting a lot of time doing it. And I didn't have the glasses either, so.
People are really into like the once in a lifetime stuff. Not that was once in a lifetime, literally,
but like, I don't understand. Like, oh, remember that time you saw the eclipse? Okay, cool. Well, like, we saw it, and what was it? Was it like the sun got blocked out by the moon? Well, yeah, that was exactly what. Okay,
some people are into it.
right. But it's like we can tell our children about that. Okay. I'm gonna lie to my kids and say I saw it. Like, I'm gonna do that. I'll be like, yeah, Daddy was alive and he saw that then too.
I saw
They don't
somebody on Facebook say like, "Oh, your kid was born the same year as the eclipse."
The same year?
Yeah.
Look at the same day. Fuck the
I
same
know.
year.
I was like, really the same year? The kid's gonna be like.
He was also
so-
born the same year as all of those white supremacist riots, huh?
Very true.
Think about that. Spin
Very
zone.
true, and a lot of murders.
Lots of murders. Lots of murders.
And we're only like half. Well, no, we're a little bit more than halfway
The
through.
polar ice caps have melted more this year than any other year before. So way to bring a child into that world, huh?
Yeah, that's the
How about
type
you
of
think about
world
that?
you're bringing a kid into.
All right, so the eclipse was back. Also back this week was glasses, because
Oh yeah, because
holy shit, glasses. Those prices went up, and they were like paper 3D looking glasses that weren't. I know they weren't 3D glasses, but they looked like 3D glasses.
Yeah, that's
But
what they
were
look
going,
like, yeah.
they were going for like $20 a piece. I was seeing those going all over the place. People were upselling those.
yeah,
And then they had
Amazon,
fake
eBay.
ones too. That was ridiculous, but glasses were back. I got a quick question. Bobby Jokes, you're colorblind. Can you still stare at the sun? And like, would you have gone more blind?
I think I would have gone more blind.
Why didn't you do it? We needed to test this.
You know, I was actually in my classroom at that time.
Right. So you missed the whole fucking eclipse?
Well, we had a window, and at 1:16, it didn't look like anything happened. Like, it didn't look any darker or anything. It just,
Nobody in your class was interested?
they were interested, but nothing happened.
Oh, was it cloudy? Is that why?
I didn't seem to.
I was
cloudy.
rooting for the clouds, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, how great would it be if the clouds at 1:16 when it's prime time just fuck you guys, and everybody's like, oh, he just took off work.
I just moved to South Carolina.
So yeah, I was thinking about you. I was like, can Bobby stare at the sun and be okay? Because he's colorblind already. So maybe you would have been entirely blind fit.
How colorblind are you? Like tell me.
I have trouble with red and green. That's like the biggest two. But like,
Stoplights.
oh yeah, I used to tell the story before the podcast, but stoplights, the green light, I always thought looked white. And I just, people would say it's green light, but I'm like, it's white, yeah, it's white, whatever.
Sorry.
Until I actually asked someone, I'm like, hey, why do they call the green light white? And I'm like, no, it's green. I'm like, no, it's not, it's white.
Whoa. So now, is it still white to you?
It still looks white to me.
You just know that it's green, and green means go.
Yeah.
White means go.
So you've never actually seen the color green then?
I have, but it's just like shades get like
Thoughts?
really.
Thoughts on the color green?
It's okay.
Not for you, maybe.
There's some glasses out there that are like $350 that are supposed to like help you.
Should we
Might
start a
get those
GoFundMe? We're gonna make a GoFundMe for Robert's glasses. We're
Well,
gonna be
well-
those over-the-top GoFundMe people that get things you don't really need.
Do you want them? Would you wear them? I mean, let's
think I would
ask
wear
that
them.
question first. Okay, let's do it.
All right.
What color are your shorts, do you think?
They're like salmon.
Okay, yes, they are salmon.
Pretty good. What color everything. I have blue jeans on, and that would have
What
been
color
very
is
easy.
that Hot Shot can right there? Like,
Green.
well, how did you know that?
Yeah.
This is bullshit.
Is it all green?
No.
A lot of
I mean, yeah.
most green.
I don't know, I
Like
feel
dark
there's some
green and
yellow
light
in
green.
here.
And it's a little yellow. I like this game. This is a
I
fun
know, I'm
game for
looking around-
everybody
I'm
listening
looking
to.
around- Oh, yeah. I'm looking around your apartment like, what else? What else? Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, we can't see anything.
We're doing a podcast. Okay, focus.
All right. Also, a comeback kid this week: Confederate generals and
Yeah.
statues of Confederate generals.
They're
mostly.
very hot right now.
It's
but-
like
but
a lot of
for
people are not happy with them. Now, I said last week I am cool with you taking down any statue you want. I want 5 facts about said person that you want statue taken down, and I'd like you to be able to, carry a conversation on what said person did besides, he was a racist and he owned slaves. If that's your excuse for taking down any statue, I just want a little bit of information. Like, what did he do? Where was he born? Like everybody wanted to take down Robert E. Lee's statue. If you asked them anything about Robert E. Lee, probably he was a Southern and he was a racist.
The Robert E. Lee one is...
I get that.
Well, actually, there's a bit of an argument there because apparently he was against...
Well, because back then you sided with wherever your state went. He was in Virginia,
He was
and
in
Virginia
Virginia.
went to the Confederacy.
And he was loyal to Virginia, but not so much like everything else that was
But he
going
still fought.
on.
He still fought.
He did, yeah, you're right. So, but
I mean, but
feel like
yeah,
there's an argument there.
But like, it was also. I know it sounds bad. It was a different time then. Like, I'm not saying slavery wasn't bad. People knew slavery was bad, and people were obviously fighting to keep it and get rid of it. But like, you were fighting for your fucking state mostly. You were fighting for your state. And there's people that are like, oh, Sam Houston's racist. Sam Houston was like the most anti. I'm not fucking like seceding. We're not doing any of that shit. I'm not helping you guys.
Yeah, he was just He was pro Texas. Like,
Right.
He didn't even want anything to do with the South. He was like, "Fuck you guys! Like, we're Texas."
You can go to hell, and I will go to Texas.
Yeah, is that? Oh, was
I
that
don't
him?
think that was him that said that.
Oh,
but-
okay. Damn, I thought
That
he
would
was
have been
dropping
pretty cool.
knowledge.
I should have just gone with that, and then everybody that didn't know anything about it would have just believed me.
I think it was like a country singer that said
Probably
that.
was. It sounds like, y'all can all go to hell. I'm going to go to Texas.
Boom, boom, boom.
I lost my truck,
Texas.
and I found my dog.
I'm going to. Okay, so anyway, yeah. So that's.
Now they're having to like remove him in the middle of the night. Like
middle
at
of the
UT, they did
night,
that. And
and-
they're like, we don't want people mad. We don't want people mad about it. And like, I was super anti taking down statues like over a week ago. Bless you. But after all this Charlottesville stuff came, I'm like, do we really like? I don't really care that much about these statues. Like, but then people protested something in Herman Park or whatever this weekend, and I was like, I had no idea there was even a statue there, let alone a Confederate statue. And I bet most of the people protesting were the exact same way.
Yeah, it was. He was. Let's see.
It was an
here.
angel.
He-
It was also an angel, but it was like a tribute to like Confederate fallen soldiers or some shit
correct.
like that.
Yeah, it was a guy that lived in Houston that fought for the Confederacy, but this statue itself was a tribute to the Confederate soldiers, as far as I can remember. And it was a guy that lives in I think in River Oaks. Like, he's a rich kid.
What?
And he lives with his parents. His parents are rich, and he was going to blow it up, but a park ranger stopped him. And then they went to his house the other day, and like the SWAT team was there, and they raided his house, and they found all these
Oh
explosives.
shit.
Yeah, dude, crazy.
I don't care about the statues enough to like, be like, if you guys want to take it, just fucking bitch about something else. Just bitch about something else. I don't care. I don't care about statues anymore. Like, fucking, I want Statue of Liberty. I want Abe Lincoln sitting in that chair. I want that still staying. I want the big ass Sam Houston on I-45, and I'm pretty cool after that.
Are they gonna rename Houston?
They would have to, hypothetically. That's what I don't understand. It's like, oh, well, you gotta change history. It's like, you tell me, like all these schools that got their names changed. Like,
Yeah.
most of the kids going there had no fucking clue who that school is named after.
Correct. And you can't change history. I mean, you don't have to celebrate it.
Which is, I get kind of taking the statues down. If you want to do that, maybe that's fine. I don't
Right.
really care.
But where does it end though? Like, what?
You look like a dick if you're defending the statue to a point. And that's what but I understand, like, where does it end? If it's this, then what is next?
Like,
then
are
what's
they
next?
gonna rename Houston?
Right. But it's like, I don't care enough about statues to die on that hill.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna die.
That's a good
I'm not gonna
stance.
die fighting that battle. Like, yeah, y'all do that. I didn't look at that statue ever, anyways. So
That's fine.
not a big statue watcher.
That's fine. Yeah. I just I think a lot of people are thinking that, they're gonna feel better once all this is over, once all these statues are down, but it might not be the case. Like, that's not gonna make
Statues don't cause racism, and I'm pretty sure they don't cure racism.
Yeah, I just think that there might be better efforts to be putting your energy into. That's what I think.
Right.
Like, go volunteer somewhere.
That too. That's very, very easy. Very easy way, just
Go
get
work
all that
for your
stress
community.
and then give back.
Go give back to your community and build your community up rather than crying over
But I'd rather
getting
yell.
something taken
I'd
down.
rather yell and be against something than
that's
actually
easier,
help. 'Cause,
yeah.
That's what everybody else is seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And I love at all the protests when everybody has their phones out. It's like, you didn't go to protest. You went to fucking video it and say that you're an activist. So all your friends think, oh, look, Molly's really into protesting statues.
Look at how woke I am, Facebook.
Right?
Look.
Like, just go and don't tell anybody about it. If you really cared, that's what you'd do. All right, so that's all we got to say about that. Boxing is also a comeback kid. McGregor-Mayweather is this Saturday, and everybody's fucking talking about it. I'm pretty stoked.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I hope.
I mean, I think the fight could be very lackluster, and I still think Mayweather wins. I think McGregor's got much more of a chance than I ever thought he had just watching stuff, but I also think that Floyd's could very easily be playing it up. Like, now he's like, I'm going to hang out at my strip club and meet fans all week instead of really training. I'm going to eat Burger King. And Conor McGregor's like, I'm going to go bike 40 miles in the desert, and then I'm going to go, like, work out again, and I'm going to go box some more, and here's videos of just me training. And Mayweather's like, I'm going to go hang with my family some more and do this, have a picnic. I don't fucking know.
So I presented this to Rod today, and he shot me down. So let me give it to you.
Okay.
What if you're seeing all this footage of McGregor training and Mayweather not training, right?
Right.
What if Mayweather is preparing an excuse for if he loses? Oh, well, I lost because I didn't really take it seriously. I didn't train. Thereby opening up an opportunity for a rematch.
Yeah.
And then from there, you got to have another rematch after that because that's the third one.
So you want to have it evened out, right?
Yeah. So, but Rod's argument was, Rod's argument was Mayweather's record is 0 right now.
49-0.
So he doesn't want to taint that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, what would have been, and I don't think it's happening, but it would be fucking genius is if Floyd, but he wouldn't have acted like he didn't care. Like, if Floyd had been talking shit, and I'm getting this from the South Park episode where Jesus fights Satan, and Satan loses to Jesus, but everybody put all their money on Satan because Satan talked a big game, and then he just goes down with the first punch, but he bet on Jesus to win. So, like, Mayweather's already making, like, a fuck ton of money, you know? So he's getting that much money just for fighting, regardless if he wins. You bet on McGregor, and then you fall, and you just doubled your money, and he's already got a little IRS problem. So,
True.
Oh, hey, now who just doubled their winnings?
But is that
Probably
worth more than his ego and his record, undefeated record? That was Rod's argument. But I mean,
If you don't have to keep coming back and fighting, maybe, because he blows through a lot of that money.
True. But maybe he is actually training and he's just
I think
putting
he
out
is.
Yeah, and
I
he's
think
just
he
putting
is.
out
And he's
videos.
trying to make the line go so more people bet, and he can make more money doing stuff like that. you know?
Yeah, that's true.
But I bet on McGregor. I don't think I'm going to be cashing that ticket in, but I would love to, and I can't. Like,
That was worth a shot.
And I mean, I know speed is Mayweather's thing, but, you know, sometimes it's just timing is what you got to have. And I think McGregor's a guy that is very good at his timing. And if you can just catch him right at that right spot at the right time, you can knock him out.
Yeah, McGregor's got a lot of force.
I still think it goes 12 rounds, and I think Mayweather wins most of those rounds. So that's my prediction.
Okay, and my Ukrainian boxing coach agrees with you. He thinks that Mayweather will win. No doubt.
He's a boxer, so I would probably tend to lean towards his opinion over most people's. But yeah, boxing is a comeback kid. Also, like, which is back is the fake boxing experts, the guys that you're like, I've never seen you or heard you talking about boxing ever. And I was like, well, actually, in this round, this would be this, and this would be this. Obviously, you know, right here what he's doing with the parrying these punches. And just like, you like pick up like one buzzword that you use that you saw on ESPN. KO. Yeah, he got KO'd, and they were counting him down.
6 rounds.
6th round KO.
6 rounds KO.
Okay, Bobby, you had a comeback kid. It was white wristbands.
Yeah, it's white wristbands and umpires.
Now, I saw the white wristbands, and until you put this on our little prep sheet, I didn't understand what it was. Now, apparently the umpires were getting verbally abused.
Yes, apparently this has been escalating for like the past several years.
So like balls and strikes, outs,
them
them making bad calls and getting called on it.
Yeah.
While also refusing to have like replay be able to overturn balls and strikes is getting people upset.
All of that.
What?
So, Ian Kindler, he was ejected by Angel Hernandez at a game. And after the game...
Doesn't sound very angel-like to me.
And then after the game, Ian said about Angel that he sucks and that he should find a new line of work.
I like that.
So he got fined $10,000, which is like one of the highest fines MLB has had for a player. Like Rougned Odor, when he punched Jose Bautista, he got fined $5,000. So a punch got fined $5,000, but words were fined $10,000.
Words hurt. We've learned that this year, Robert.
Yep.
Words are almost worse than punches.
And so umpires wore those white wristbands in protest. And then like the next day, they stopped wearing them.
Yeah, because nobody fucking knew what they were. Like I remember seeing them and being like, "What? Why are those? Both of them have those? Is that okay?" I didn't know if it was like part of their uniform. Like maybe he just wanted a white wristband that day. I had no idea what it was for until like they mentioned it.
Yeah, apparently like they tweeted it like minutes before winning game, like, "Oh, we're wearing white wristbands to protest escalating verbal assault from players," or something like that.
You sound like a bunch of bitches, don't they? A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Oh, you mean the grown man that's making a lot of money yelled at you and you're sad? Then don't do that. Like, there's like 20 umps or whatever it is in the league, right?
Something like that.
So, like, fucking shut up or let somebody else that wants to do it.
Yeah.
That's part of it. People are going to always yell at you if you're the ump.
Yeah, pretty much.
It goes for referees, too. And I remember when the NFL referees were bitching, they're like, "Oh, you know what? If you don't pay us more, we're just going to go on strike." And it was like, "That's cool. We found replacement referees for half the season. So you guys go do that." And then that's weird. They settled.
Yep. See you guys.
But I'm not going to lie. The NFL having that referee strike was one of like it was maybe the worst, but also the funniest thing in sports for a while. Where it was just like, the Fail Mary happened. Like, every, like, questionable call was while they were replacement refs. It was like, what if we had real refs? Whatever. I was like, they were still trained the same.
It was the perfect excuse.
I know. But it was like, there were like 3 incidents that was just like, well, this wouldn't happen for real. That probably would have. They're also bad. And they make bad calls, too. All right. And my final comeback kid of the week is celebrity nudes.
Oh,
They're
yes.
back because Tiger Woods, Miley Cyrus, Lindsey Vonn, Kristen Stewart all had nudes leaked. It's like the fappening again, fappening 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie and say I was above that to not go look, because I did look. I did look.
I was above it. However, I was sent the Miley Cyrus picture.
Yeah, that was interesting. That was interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't, I and a lot of times I wonder, like, why do you save those on the cloud? Like,
why does that
You're
picture?
saving that.
Why was that picture taken?
and you kept it on your phone.
And why did you keep it? Did you forget? And it just got
Maybe.
lost
That
in the
might have been
shuffle?
it.
I mean,
You have
we've
1,000
all
pictures.
been blackout drunk before.
Fuck yeah, you're right. That's exactly. Never mind.
Probably what
No
happened.
further questions. That's
We figured it out.
right to the point. But yeah, celebrity news. Like, is there any specific celebrity that you would want to see full on? You hope maybe something like this happens. Let's all go around the room. Bobby jokes, get ready.
Okay, so for me, it would probably be like not somebody that I think is hot, like just somebody that I'm curious about, like what they look like naked. Jason Momoa. I would take a look at that.
Yeah.
I would go looking for that
Okay.
nude picture. My God, it's just got to be gigantic. It's got to be what that hot shot can is, which nobody can see because
Yep.
we're on a podcast.
It's large though. It's a large can.
I can't even think of like anything to compare it to.
Mine would probably be Minka Kelly.
Okay.
Just because, like, she's always the good girl. I know she doesn't have any nudes out there publicly right now.
What's her real name, though? I mean, let's be honest.
Lila Garrity.
Thank you.
Lila Garrity. But it's Minka Kelly is her official name. It's totally Lila Garrity. We were actually talking about this earlier today at work, where it was just like, there's from Friday Night Lights. If you've watched Friday Night Lights, TV show, not the movie. Fuck you if you think the movie's better than the TV show, because the TV show is way better. But like, Taylor Kitsch, I think is his name. He's Tim Riggins forever. I don't care. And then
Landry?
Landry. He was in Breaking Bad for this whole part, and I didn't fucking learn his name once.
Landry.
It was like, that's Landry. Well, his name's not Landry, but it's Landry though, right? Like, what? Doesn't he have to go back to school? What are you doing with meth, Landry? Fucking, you got a big game against East Dillon. Let's go. And then Kyle Chandler. He's been in a lot of stuff too. He's probably been in more things than most of them. And he's Coach Taylor.
But he's still Coach
I don't
Taylor.
give a fuck. You're Coach Taylor.
So I will say I used to be a big fan of Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler
country
alert!
fan, huh?
Spoiler alert, Mike. I'm not a country fan at all. But for some reason, I got into the show Nashville. And Tammy Taylor, Coach Taylor's wife, plays a woman named Raina James.
Connie Britton.
Yes. So she's now Raina James to me because I watched it for a couple of seasons.
She'll never be
and
Raina
I'm
James
sorry
to
for
me.
that.
I don't understand how you could ever look at her as anything other than that motivational mom that really just, she sometimes just, she's up to it over her head, and she just finds a way to deal with those two kids and that husband that's always gone working on football, and she's got dinner ready for him. She's counseling the kids that are troubled.
But what happened at the end, though, it was her turn.
It was her
She
turn.
said.
You're right.
It was her turn.
But you know what? A strong, independent woman like that, even though she wasn't 100% independent, but she was able to be
Right,
independent,
yeah.
She deserves that.
So she, on Nashville, spoiler alert, they killed her character off, and I stopped watching. I was so upset. Fuck this show. I'm never watching it, and I haven't watched.
Coach Taylor must be so distraught right
Why
now.
would you do that? She's got kids. Why would you do that? Oh, I was so
How did
upset.
she die on the show?
Car accident.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was like this whole plot line. She had a stalker who pulled a gun on her, and then she tried to get away from him, and then when she tried to get away from him in her car, she crashed, and she died. And she died in the hospital, so everybody got a chance to say goodbye.
That's not good.
I was crying my eyes out.
bet.
I was pissed off. She did not recover from her coma.
Tammy Taylor would have.
R.I.P.
Tammy would have.
She would have pulled through for coaching the kids.
I mean, that was her
They just
job
had
as
one-
a mom.
Wait, they did. They had the
Gracie,
baby.
little
Yeah,
Gracie Bell.
Gracie Bell.
I've watched that show twice, and I was so obsessed with it.
Oh man, it's a good show. I
Yeah.
agree with you that it's better than the movie. The movie's
the movie's good. The movie's really good.
The movie's
Peter Byrne
good.
does a great job on it, but
I
the
recommend
fucking show, it gets you.
the show is more emotional, more personal. You build
Jason
relationships with the characters.
What could have been?
Street. You son of a bitch.
forever. Clear eyes, full hearts can't lose. Everything about it.
So good.
Everything
so
about it is
much
great.
heart.
The people that haven't lived in Texas, I don't know if they're gonna they got it as much, which is why I don't think the show is as successful as it should have been.
Maybe so. I feel like they aired it on Friday nights too. Like nobody watches TV.
Right?
On
That was
Friday nights,
weird.
Really.
Okay, so that was the comeback kid of the week. But in the beginning of it, we talked about the moon and the eclipse and everything.
Yeah.
And a big point in sports this week was that the moon blocking the sun, the eclipse, is really just an inconvenience to football coaches. A lot like Nick Saban, Will Muschamp, John Harbaugh, just not even about that. You know, like Saban was just like, I don't know. I guess we need to have a meeting now about the eclipse. I don't know. Is that a serious question? And like Will Muschamp is like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? Yeah, we're gonna be practicing during the eclipse. Yes, we will be practicing. And like they just seem so put out by it. So I thought like if that's an inconvenience, we should do a Mount Rushmore of inconveniences. Now, Chris bitches when we do a snake draft. Do you know what a snake draft is, Dinah?
Nope.
It would be 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, or yeah. So basically, if you're last, you have 2 picks. So you have the last pick in that first round. You have the first pick in the second round, basically. So it just
Okay, I gotcha.
it's flip flops. It's the most foreign concept in the world for Chris to understand. He bitches every time we try and do a snake draft. But I figured that a Mount Rushmore of inconveniences we don't need to draft for. So we can just shoot out our 4.
Okay.
And we're good. Now, do you are the guest, if one of yours is taken, you got to cross it off and come up with another one.
Okay.
But would you like to go first? You want to
I'll
see
go
someone
first.
else go first? All right, Dinah, what are your Mount Rushmore of inconveniences?
Okay, so this is very timely for me because with the eclipse yesterday, at the exact time the moon blocked the sun, my cable and internet went out completely for about 10 hours. So it did not come on until 10:30 and I was fast asleep.
Fuck.
Yeah, so it's just like I don't mind not watching TV, but I had rented Hidden Figures the day before and I was halfway through, Alex, and I wanted to finish the rest of that movie
because you only have 24 hours.
Thought it was really good. Yeah. So that was inconvenient. Not having my internet on my phone is really inconvenient because now I'm running up my data fees. Mm-hmm. Thanks a lot. So no Wi-Fi was the most inconvenient. But, I powered through, much like our ancestors.
That's what they
when
had
they
to
didn't
do.
have any.
They played with
electricity.
sticks and dirt back in the day. I don't know.
On the
what they did.
Oregon Trail. I was just like me yesterday,
Back when it was a simpler time, much simpler.
fighting typhoid, and
You had to caulk the wagon and see if it'll float.
there was caulking.
I remember
Mostly.
Remember that on the game? Did you ever play the game in school?
Yeah, on the computer.
Yeah,
sure.
and you're just like, oh, we gotta caulk the river. All right.
We're gonna caulk the river.
Oh, sorry, John, you died.
Yep.
That malaria and the river.
Plus, your kid
No
just
match
died.
for you. Ah, now your kid has dysentery. Probably not long for this world.
Nope.
I would always settle. I never made it to Oregon, but I would always settle because you could get like Salt Lake City, and it's like, would you like to settle down here? Like, yes.
Yeah, I would.
Yes, because I'm done.
Sure.
I'm fucking done.
Yeah, I'd like to
I don't
end
know.
this game.
I started with 8. Now I've got 2.
I've been here for 3 hours.
Yeah, right. I've been playing this for 3 class periods.
I have successfully skipped 3 classes, and now I would like to settle in Salt Lake City.
All right, so internet and cable being out is number 1 on
Yeah,
yours. That's
yeah.
pretty solid.
So I'm going through my list, right? We're
All
not
right.
snake drafting.
Right.
All right. My phone dying.
Ooh.
Even
that's
when
a
you're
really
on
good
low
one.
battery, it sucks because you can't watch what you want to watch, or you can't get on Instagram or Twitter.
You got that like 12%, and you know if I look at a video snap or anything, that it's just gonna go like, because there's no like, it never gets at 2% and then it goes away. It's at like 10, and you're watching a video and boom, it's off.
Pew!
Like, what?
And then it goes
I
black.
had so many more degrees till I was done, and you're no.
Yeah, you
No.
know what else does the battery over is the texting pictures. Texting pictures
yeah.
depletes your battery life
Yeah, I bet
like
it does.
no other. So that's extremely inconvenient.
It's a pretty
for me.
solid one.
Running out of gas.
Ooh.
Not necessarily like getting caught on the side of the road, but when you're excuse me, when your light is on, which I always wait till my gas light gets turned on.
Women,
before
right?
I get gas. Well, that's when I know. I'm like, oh, I gotta get gas now. That's really inconvenient because it's like, no, I gotta be somewhere, and now I'm not gonna be on time because I gotta stop and get gas. It's really hot outside.
Right.
Now I gotta stop and get gas. I don't have any money. Now I gotta stop and get gas. It's just really inconvenient.
That's a pretty solid one. Though.
My last one is traffic.
Traffic is a solid one.
Much like when you have to get gas, you're like, no, I have to be somewhere on time, and now I'm not going to be on time, and I just want to punch all these cars in the face. What are you guys all doing on the road? Mm-hmm. Why? Why are you all? It's Sunday morning.
Just fucking, and like, if you just abide, just you go in your lane. You go in your lane.
Get over
Just fucking, everybody just do what you're supposed to do. Don't fucking
Yes.
drive slow in the left lane. Don't be that cunt. Just be cool.
Oh my
if
God.
everybody just abides and there's no wrecks, because I get when there's wrecks. You know, wrecks cause traffic, but I don't get when there's nothing. Like when there's no wreck anywhere, and you're like, why are we backed up still?
Why are you guys all going slow? There's nothing. Go.
I hate it.
Yeah, you want, not to say that I want to see an accident, but some sort of payoff is nice when you've been sitting in traffic for a while. But,
Somebody better be dead.
but when you go, that's a terrible
Once again,
thing.
thin out the herd.
But when you go, you're in traffic for like an hour, and then it finally breaks up, and there's nothing there. What?
It's so stupid.
Yeah, it's
So
maddening.
stupid.
So
That's a pretty
it for me.
solid,
Thank you.
pretty solid Mount Rushmore. Bobby Jokes, you want to go next?
Okay, so I have a little theme going with mine,
Ooh, themes.
and it's a pretty lame one. It's just words that start with S.
Okay. There's still a lot, though.
So I have sleeping.
Sleeping is an inconvenience.
Yeah, because, we've lived for whatever. We've evolved for so long, but we still have to sleep. We still have to shut down and sleep for like 8 hours.
You know what? Yeah, evolution, you're on the hot seat. What the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
how long have we been around? And we still haven't figured out, like, why can't I stay up all the time?
I really like sleeping. But I mean, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that isn't, because, like, a lot of times you're like, I want to do this, but
I
I
have
have
to
to go to sleep so I won't be tired at work tomorrow.
Right, especially for those
Solid.
in morning radio. We
Very
understand.
good start then.
Next, I have showering.
Shower. Oh, because like, a lot of times you got to shower before you do something.
Yeah. Ugh, gotta get in the
That's a
shower
solid one,
first.
too.
Yeah, I like this.
All of these, like, as you're saying them at the beginning, I'm like, and then you explain it, and I'm on board.
Okay. Next, I have shredding paper.
Shredding paper.
Shredding paper.
That's kind of fun, though.
Why are you shredding paper? What kind of secrets do you have?
Bank
You don't-
statements.
Yeah, you don't want anyone else.
Duh.
Get online bank statements. That's fixed right there.
Fuck trees. 'Cause I don't even like open them. I'm just like, I do open them, but then
Yeah. All right.
And the next one is shopping for clothes.
shopping for clothes. Unless of course, you're shopping through PassTheGravyMerch.com and you're getting a Pass the Gravy shirt, right?
Well, that's online. I mean, like going physically to a store.
Yes.
That's a beautiful
where you
plug.
where you can try things on, and you have to wear clothes.
Right.
So.
It's a necessity.
Thank you. You do
Well, I mean,
have to
not
wear
at
clothes.
nudist colonies.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
So that's a pretty solid list.
And
I'm not gonna
all
lie.
S's.
Yeah, that's even harder to do. So you had I didn't expect a lot, and you delivered.
You
so
came through, buddy.
Well done, Bobby Jokes. All right, my 4. I'm gonna go with. I don't think anybody took mine, did they? No. All right, my first one is gonna be stepping in dog shit or just shit of any kind, because then you're like, God damn it! Like, am I able to wipe this off? If you've got like any kind of shoe with any like pattern on the bottom of it, you gotta like go get like a knife or whatever and
Or
like
a
dig it all
stick.
out. Yeah, you can't just
grass.
you can't just wash it off. So I would say like stepping in dog shit or just shit in general.
I hope you're stepping in dog shit. I hope it's not human shit.
Right. Well, I mean, that's why I
elephant
said
shit.
dog shit. But like I've had that happen to me, like where I was like on my way to work and someone's dog had like shit on the concrete or whatever, and you feel the squish, you smell it immediately, and you're like, God damn it.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
huge
that's
inconvenience.
super inconvenient. And you gotta go back up. You gotta do everything. You gotta maybe even change your outfit. I don't know. Next one, I don't change the outfit when I do that. But next one is dropping your phone in between the seat and the console
the
of your
worst.
car.
The worst.
Nothing worse, because no hand outside of like a 3-year-old's hand can fit through that little
Can't
spot.
get in there.
And then you gotta like either stop the car, wait till you get where you're going or whatever, and then you gotta go to the back seat, look under it or whatever it is, and then fucking like it's such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, you have to move. You have to pull over, move your seat, then fish it out. It is the worst.
And then next one is Uber drivers that talk to you too much.
Okay, yeah.
I think you should be able to have like an option in the app that's just like no talking.
That's not a bad idea.
Like only talking to get information. Like where
Don't
we're
wanna
going here?
talk.
Cool. Like I've been taking my headphones and like I had been drinking at my brother's house on Saturday and I came back and just threw headphones in, forgot to turn on a podcast or anything, and just like had headphones in because I didn't want to talk to the driver. But I always take headphones now with me when I'm going in an Uber, just because one less thing I have to worry about, because I hate, what are you getting into tonight? And they're just being polite, and I get that.
Yeah.
But if I have the headphones in, then you don't even have to worry about it, you know?
The only time that I like, and I think I've told you this before, the only time that I talk a lot to my Uber drivers is when I'm drunk on the way home, because it's specifically for me to stay awake. Or
Yeah,
else I
that's a
don't
good
want to pass out on the back of somebody's car. So,
Yeah, I guess you're a chick, so that's totally different.
Well,
Because
yeah.
I passed out in a couple of Ubers where it's been like, Alex, hello, sir, yeah. Oh,
Hello?
we're here?
Hi.
Thanks. All right, man.
I'm awake.
Appreciate
I'm
it.
here. Thank you. Yeah. So, and then I've done the headphone thing, but I'll bring it up. Like I'll get into this thing to the cab or the Uber or whatever, and I'll say, hey, I'm gonna put my headphones in. I'm just gonna tune out of the world for a minute, or I'm nervous about my flight. We're going to the airport. I'm gonna put on my music and my headphones. Thank you. Just kind of communicating
Right.
a little bit.
Yeah, that's a
Hey,
pretty
it's not
solid
you, it's
strategy.
me. Type of thing.
I just feel like if I just have the earbuds in, I usually get in, take one out, make the little chit chat. Yeah, we're going here. It's right over by there. This is the name of the place. And then, okay,
Yeah.
throw it back in. And then they're like, oh, he's already listened to something. And so I've never really had anybody continuously.
And
try
I
to
think
talk
that's
to me.
fine. Like, you don't owe that guy an explanation.
And I would like to think that he now doesn't feel like he's obligated to entertain me, because I feel like sometimes they talk so much because they feel like,
Yeah.
well, you're in my car, and there's just people that feel awkward not talking to someone sitting behind them or whatever. But
It's a win-win.
yeah, so that's Uber drivers talking too much. Also on my Mount Rushmore. And my last one is people not turning right, people not turning on red lights in the right lane. People not turning right on red. That's a
why
better
would
one.
you not do that?
I don't know, but like, is there nothing worse? Like, you're like going somewhere, I just gotta turn right here, and then someone jumps out right before you because they want to be the first person at the light, and they're not turning, and you're like, fuck! God damn it! I gotta fucking wait for every other light before I can fucking go. And if you weren't even over here, if you weren't the jackass who want me first, I'd be fine. I'd be there. I'd be where I am now.
You scared Barn.
No, he's wagging though.
I've driven with Alex, and it's very scary. There's a lot of anger.
You're very upset.
There's a lot of
with
anger
people
that
on the
comes out when you're driving. So we've all listed, well, I don't think Robert did, but we all listed driving inconveniences.
Yeah, he did do that. He didn't load anything or have anything that was.
Well, he's young yet.
Right. Yeah.
Give him time.
And he's very patient and calm.
Yeah, I can see that.
He brings a nice calm because a lot of times when it's me and Chris, we're both like very like angry, emotional people that yell, and Robert's just like, I'm not gonna cuss. I'm not gonna do it. We tried to make him cuss last week, and he wouldn't cuss, and we tried really hard to make him cuss.
Oh, that's sweet. You're
I know he's just a good guy. He's a
Yeah.
good guy all around.
Look, Barney loves him. Barney just went.
Barney
and licked
is
him.
a huge fan of Bobby jokes. Okay. That was our Mount Rushmore. Basically, we did the Mount Rushmore because we call it Mount Rushmore season in between like the end of basketball season and the start of football season because on sports radio they don't really have anything to talk about because baseball's not as fun to talk about.
Yeah, no,
and it's just
not.
like, well, who's on your Mount Rushmore of best athletes in the 20th century or whatever it is. And,
Yeah.
like, that's just a talking point. So we embrace
Fillers.
debate here on Pass the Gravy, and we do our own Mount Rushmore of blank, and we find a stupid sports story to give us the theme. But yeah. Also, speaking of Pass the Gravy shirts, like I was just doing, if you go to PassTheGravyMerch.com, you can get all of that sick-ass gear, and we put out our football shirts last week. I am wearing one right now. I'm wearing the Zeke Hits Women, people don't forget. It's a spin-off of our Dallas
Hang on.
or Dallas Killed JFK, people don't forget. But yeah, so that, I gave Dinah one of our Houston Pastros shirt to for coming on the podcast and sacrificing her time.
I love it. Thank you. It's very soft.
Yeah, it's pretty great for the best team in the AL for baseball. And don't say that. We're not saying it's the Astros because I'm not sure if we can. But best team in the AL, support them with colors like them. That works. Also, we've got the Past the Go Tigers, Past the Eat 'em Up Cats, Past the Cougs House, Past the Bulls on Parade. We've got the OG just logo shirts, the Bomb Pop one, Cal Ripken and Crawfish, all the good stuff you can get at PassTheGravyMerch.com. Ladies, remember, it's $1 off for you because we fixed the wage gap, and we care. We care, you know?
very
That's what we
nice.
do. And then especially the Zeke Hits Women one, like, well, that's just for women's, we're raising awareness.
I appreciate
because
that.
like domestic violence is not okay.
It's not
Pass the
okay.
Gravy. I'm gonna come out and say it. We are anti-domestic violence.
Thank you.
Here on Pass the Gravy,
People
and
don't
I'm
forget.
not afraid to say it.
Thank you.
All right, I'll be the first podcast
You're
to say
so
that.
brave.
That's what kind of guy I am. You know, I'm just a guy. I'll take a stand.
Yeah.
But if you don't feel like like spending money on a shirt, maybe you already bought your shirt. You should probably still buy a shirt anyways. You could always go and help support the podcast by using our Amazon banner at PassGradePod.com. You just go there, click the Amazon banner at the top of our homepage, and buy all your shit on Amazon. It literally costs you one extra click. They give us a teeny tiny little kickback. Doesn't cost you anything else. We just get like some taxes and shit, and they just want to know that we create a little traffic from our site to theirs. They give us a teeny tiny little kickback. I don't pocket any of that. I pay Bobby Jokes the big bucks that he's getting, and put it all into web hosting and server space. So you can support your favorite podcast. Use the Amazon banner at PassGradePod.com. Okay, now is the portion of the podcast where we do Not Cool, gang.
Not cool, man. Dude, that's not cool.
Not cool. Not cool.
Dude, that's not cool, man. Dude, that's not cool.
Not cool. Not cool.
Dude, that's not cool. That's not cool. That's not cool.
All right, I'll lead off real quick, and my Not Cool is sort of related to the podcast, and it's Chris Hogan is my Not Cool because I always do a graphic for each podcast episode. I'm looking for it. I'm trying. My mind's racing. What am I going to put Dinah's face on this week's podcast graphic that I post on the interwebs? But never had a problem. Chris is the guy. He's happy dropping some F-bombs. Like not fuck, the other F-bomb that rhymes with maggot.
Oh.
He said that like 6 times last week or whatever it was. Like he's cool saying everything. And Mr. Anti-PC over here, but it was topical about the Charlottesville riots where all those guys or protests, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
Or all the white supremacists had the tiki torches, and we said, well, if you really care so much, why don't you go to the NFL? If Cowboys fans cared about Ezekiel Elliott's suspension, take your tiki torches, go to the NFL headquarters and protest. Or you can call them Zeke torches. I don't fucking care. And we called it Zeke torch. And like we basically just snagged that picture and put our faces on it, put Nancy Grace's face on it, put Justin Bieber in there, put the rapping teacher from that stupid Microsoft commercial in there.
Sure.
And so I get a call from Chris, like, dude, you have to fucking take that down. I was like, why? Why do I have? Because I'm not gonna have my face on a Nazi. He's like, he's not a Nazi. It's you. Are you saying you're a Nazi? Because I put your face over him, which would make you him now. So you are that person, not that guy. No, that's not okay. That's not okay. It's not acceptable. It's a Nazi. I don't want my face on a fucking Nazi. I was like, it's not a Nazi. It's a parody, dude. Totally get it. We also have Ezekiel Elliott's head instead of tiki torches. Like, it should be pretty obvious that we're not saying we're Nazis. And he was fucking pissed, so I had to put Ron Artest's head on it because he wouldn't stop bitching about it. But yeah, Chris is my not cool for this week, Mr. Oh, PC's stupid, or what Chris would say is probably PC's gay. That's what Chris would say, not me, because I'm not like that.
Right.
But Chris, and then all of a sudden, whoa, hey, now I'm a little offended. So a little snowflake Chris, my not cool.
I didn't prepare a not cool something.
Well, Comcast kind of went out, and Comcast has been a not cool quite a few times on this podcast.
And here's the thing with my Comcast situation is I tweeted about it, not trying necessarily to get their attention, just more of like a joke because it really went out at the exact second that the eclipse happened. So I tweeted something about it like, coincidence, ... question mark. And Comcast got right back to me, and they were like, hey, Dinah.
Comcast cares?
Yeah.
Those fucks.
They don't care. They got right back to me, and they said, they DM'd me and said, hey, send us your address. We'll be happy to help. And I was like, oh, this is great. Alex doesn't know what he's talking about. Comcast is great. So then I got right back to them, sent them my information, and they said, oh, yeah, there's an outage. Oh,
which means you're fucking
okay.
just screwed right now.
Well, but can we fix it?
Yeah, I don't know. So is there an outage in my bill? Like if I didn't pay for like, oh, hey, guys, I took off $30 because of the 10 hours I didn't have my fucking cable. They'd be like, whoa, Miss Powers.
I can tell you that I'm
That's
not
not
paying
okay.
for Hidden Fences anymore because I didn't get to watch it.
Did you call yet?
No.
Oh, yeah, you got to
God
call.
help me.
Use the word reimbursed. Anytime you're dealing with any cable company or anything like that, don't say, what am I going to get? Where's my money? I need my money back. Say, I just want to know how I would be reimbursed for this inconvenience because I have paid my bill in full.
So they claimed that it would be back around 6:30. It did not come back until sometime overnight. I believe around 10:30ish.
Sounds like Comcast.
Yeah, it was very not cool.
Yeah, Comcast is a pain in the ass, and they regularly have outages for me. Then they don't really give a shit when you try and get it fixed. And then a lot of times, like, I have to call them every month with my bill, and I just go down all the bullshit, bogus charges I don't know about. And 9 out of 10 times, they take at least like $10, $20 off. They're like, oh, yeah, you're right. We didn't need that. Oh, but like if I just paid it, you would have taken it, right? Okay, fuck you.
Unbelievable.
It's just like, cable's not that hard, Cable's not that hard to just wire something in, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like it's must-have shit. Okay, Bobby Jokes, do you have a not cool? Was it just being colorblind?
No, not this time.
Usually it's that.
Not cool colors.
So I had 2 baseball stories, and I chose this one for my not cool, which is dumb people who are like set in their ways even when presented with facts.
So if anybody on Facebook mostly.
Right. So an MLB reporter talked with a scout, and the scout told him the Astros strike out too much and that it would catch up to them eventually. Then the reporter told him, actually they have the lowest strikeout rate in all of baseball. And the scout's response to that was, I don't believe that.
That's facts.
Yeah. And I don't know, he's just like stuck in his ways. It's his perception, but
Isn't it sad? Like, those are people that are writing. Like, that's like somebody that like people consider an expert. That's
Yeah.
just like, well, no, I already said the other thing though. I said the other. I'm not wrong. You're wrong. The Earth's not flat. The Earth's totally flat. Well, here's this globe. Here's a picture from space of it round. No, it's a lie. I know it's flat.
yeah.
That's basically what that is. But that's a pretty solid not cool though. Fuck that guy. What's his name?
They unnamed.
Should have named him. I would call him out. All right. So that was not cool, and we'll move on to the final segment of the podcast. Now, people always, or I guess I gotta play the intro for that too. So this is answers.
Well, if you just answer the question, why don't you just answer the question? Be honest, no big deal. Yeah, answer the question.
Don't change the subject, just answer the fucking question. It's like, what's the answer?
Now, a lot of times people say there's no such thing as a stupid question, but many times that same person would also look at you like you're an idiot if you ask a stupid question. But not here at Pass the Gravy. We encourage you to ask anything you think would be a stupid question, and we're going to get to the bottom of it, no matter what it is.
Oh my.
So that's pretty much what this segment is.
Okay.
And we had a bunch of submissions over the last couple of weeks, so we had
Oh, okay.
we had a bonus couple that we're going to throw in there, but we can just kind of rapid fire those. But the first question comes from our good buddy Chris Colvillo, the buddy that joined us on the crawfish crawl when Robert and Chris did not, but whatever. No, not pointing fingers. Chris Colvillo says, If it takes one moon to block the sun, how many ladles does it take to block out said sun? Now, what you don't know about Passive Gravy is ladles are very near and dear to our hearts because many moons ago, I said that anything you put a handle on becomes a ladle instantly. And I was met with many arguments. And they're like, well, Alex, no. It's not just a ladle. Well, it's not a good ladle, but it's a ladle nonetheless. Anything with a handle on it's a ladle. So, like, you put a handle on this glass right there, you got yourself a ladle. You put a handle on this microphone, maybe not the best ladle. It's got a lot of pores that it's going to fall through, but it's a ladle nonetheless. Name anything in the world, and I will tell you how it's a ladle. Basically by saying put a handle on it.
A fork?
It's a ladle. Not a good ladle.
A knife?
Not a good ladle. Can't really retain a lot of water, but...
Pen.
Yeah, it's still a ladle. Put a handle on it. It's a ladle. Not a great ladle. I wouldn't use that, to like get soup with, but like
Barney.
You got a ladle. Barney, he's got a tail. He's already a ladle. Done.
Okay.
So, I don't know how many Earths. I think it was like 1,000 Earths fit in the sun, but I don't know. I guess one moon blocked it, so we would have to like do some math and calculate like how many, like what
If you put a handle on the Earth, it's a ladle.
Right. No, you put a handle on the moon. Put a handle on the moon. That's it. It takes one ladle. Takes one ladle. You put a handle on the moon. Moon's the ladle that's blocking out the sun anyway. So boom, done. 18 years. That's what we got to do. Just put a handle on it.
Question answered.
Very good question though, Chris. I like that. We hadn't had any ladle questions in a while. Diane Eberly at Diane Chavaria on Twitter says solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, or total eclipse of the heart. Out of those three, what would you pick?
Lunar eclipse.
Go lunar.
Take your heart and shove it.
I'm gonna go total eclipse of the heart. Just Bonnie Tyler's been stuck in my head all week. Really.
See, we got it.
What do you go with, Bobby Jokes?
I'm gonna go with lunar eclipse.
You gonna go lunar? All right, lunar 2, and mine is 1. So all right, good question, Diane. Andrew Green says hot dogs, just American tacos.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they are. But like, and then we put our own spin on. We're like, what's fucking relish? Some ketchup.
Ketchup.
We don't need any fucking
American
picante
salsa?
or whatever the hell it is. Yeah, ketchup is American salsa. That's good.
Tomato based.
Look at you. You're getting it. You're getting
I
it.
like it.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah, she doesn't like mayonnaise though.
Yeah.
All right, Sean Komitz, who writes in pretty frequently, and this is a pretty solid one. He says, if you have sex with a prostitute while she's sleeping, is that considered shoplifting?
It's considered rape.
But what if she was like, but like you paid her already though?
Oh, okay.
What if you paid? Was like, I don't know. Like with a prostitute, is it per time you have sex, or could you like pay her for the night and you could have sex multiple times? I've always wondered that.
I think it's just the one time, but you could work out a deal. Like, have you ever seen the movie Pretty Woman?
Yes, I have. Well, I mean, obviously that's not real life, so that's why.
Oh yeah, that's true. But I wonder.
I mean, it
if
was
they,
based on a true story, I'm sure.
I wonder if they work out weekend deals.
I don't know.
I'll
But-
have you for the weekend.
Yeah, if you had a weekend deal and you're sleeping with her while she's, or you're having sex with her while she's sleeping.
Still
but, like,
rape.
Well, but like if she got paid, then she's like an employee, so she pretty much has to do whatever, right?
Not true.
You paid her, money exchanged hands, and she knows what's happening. If you pay her for the weekend,
So
she knows sex is happening.
right, but it's consensual. Like, unless they had a rape clause.
See, we don't know all the facts.
She agreed to it. Like, hey, you can have me whenever, even if I'm asleep.
Okay, but like throwing out the rape part, throwing out the rape part. What was that, Nancy?
I don't mean the athletic stats. I mean the rape stats.
No, we're throwing out the rape stats, Nancy.
You
We
know
don't have
what?
rape
I mean,
stats.
I don't know.
Well, like if you're having sex with a prostitute and you didn't pay for that sex, that is shoplifting, technically. You're stealing the goods
I mean, I see
without paying for it.
Okay. Forgetting the whole rape thing, yes. You're stealing the goods. If there was no
So it's like
deal,
you're really being bad then. Like,
Yeah.
you're really being the bad boy. Not in a good way.
you're a rapist.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that, Sean. Like make sure she's like maybe like, nudge her awake for a little bit, but hey, I
Hey,
paid you, so
Can I ask you
can we
if
do the sex
this
again?
can be
Let's
consensual?
come on.
The two of us.
I paid you already.
It might be
Money's
a
on the
more
desk.
pleasurable experience if she's awake.
Probably.
Not, you're going to get convicted if you get caught for having sex with a prostitute, but not as bad as if you were to rape a prostitute.
Right.
Okay. Let's move on from this.
Yeah, you don't like that one? Okay, okay, whatever. Brian Thane writes in and says, less enthusiastic jazz hands. Ragtime hands?
Oh my god.
If you're not as like, oh,
Jazz hands.
ragtime hands.
Yeah, I think
It's
that's
ragtime. Like that was, I don't know what ragtime people said.
I don't know.
Is that was Flapper Girls?
It's ragtime.
Hey, come on, Flapper Girls. Doing some flapping over there.
Hey,
Hey,
see?
you dames over here. Come on down.
Who are these bras? See?
We're dancing to the jitterbug.
The Charleston.
Oh, did you see what Capone did?
Prohibition. That's a pain in the ass.
St.
huh?
Valentine's Day Massacre. Yeah. The stock market's crashing. Oh, boy.
Cars, they're not a thing yet, are they? Maybe.
What's this Truman up to?
Do we have a war soon?
Atom bombs. Yeah.
Japanese.
That's what I'm assuming the ragtime people talked like.
We don't know a lot about.
We don't know because they didn't have voices back then. so we don't-
The Great Gatsby. Yeah.
Great Gatsby, see? Gatsby, boy.
Champagne.
Jay Gatch.
That's okay. That's all I know.
That's okay, Daisy. I hit a guy with my car. I'm going to keep driving. Keep on driving.
Nobody saw.
We've got a lot of money. We don't have to worry about that shit. All right. That was a pretty good question, Brian. Greg Baker writes in, and Greg writes into us a lot. He says, if humans evolved from monkeys, why do we still have monkeys?
Because they haven't evolved yet.
But if we evolved from monkeys, so like, are we saying like every monkey in the zoo is going to turn into a human at some point?
In a million years, yeah. I don't know the answer to that question.
I don't think it makes a lot of sense.
I went to Christian school, and they taught that evolution
frowned
was not a
upon.
thing. Yeah. So I don't know a lot about evolution or the arguments for it or against it. I'm not saying that I don't believe it.
Right, like evolution, a little like weird, to get on board with. Also a little weird to get on board with is like this guy and this gal, Adam and Eve Hobbs, were like, let's just assume they were white. They had sex with each other, and then they had kids who would then have to have sex with each other. And then their kids would have to have sex with each other. So that's a lot of incest going on. I don't know how we got black people and Mexican people and Chinese people out of that. Like, doesn't really add up in my book. So I don't know where I was going with that. But I was just arguing against, like, for evolution, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you look at us, like, we've evolved since babies. We evolve in our mommy's tummies.
Mm-hmm.
So that's evolution in and of itself.
Why aren't they talking snakes still? That's what I want to know.
How do you know they're not? Maybe you just don't
I know
speak
a lot of snakes.
Parcel tongue.
I speak perfect parcel tongue.
Okay,
just
well,
like
I've
Harry
never
Potter.
seen it. I've never seen
I've never had to around you. Yeah.
Oh, you can speak parcel tongue.
Hey, what does a gay snake say? I was trying to like hiss with a lisp, but it didn't work. Usually that kills.
It should be like, hey, what does a gay snake say? Hey guys.
Hey guys.
It's hard. Yeah, I see what you're saying. All right.
Yeah. I don't know why we have monkeys still. I guess they're a little slow on the evolutionary chain.
Because they're cute.
Yeah, that's why. Because we need Planet of the Apes movies, and if we didn't have them, then how we have Planet of the Apes movies?
Right.
Perfect. Done. All right, now to get to some or a bonus question. I think we only have one bonus question. It's from Bobby Jokes. Whoa.
Heyo.
He says, "Is it weird to smile while having sex?" If you ever like banging a dude and just like he's hey. I guess what the type of smile?
This type
Maybe?
of smile. There's laughing sometimes.
Right.
And that's smiling. But yeah, like a permanent fixed creepy smile during sex.
Well, let's ask the question that we all are thinking then, Bobby. Are you a smiler? Are you a sex smiler?
Or
Is that
someone
it?
that you with smile
no,
at you.
I actually was listening to a different podcast, and they mentioned that it
Well,
was
you listen to other
weird.
podcasts, dude? What the fuck? I'm just kidding.
They
Obviously.
said that it was weird to smile.
It was?
Yeah, and I didn't agree with them. So
I don't
was
agree
wondering-
with them either because
Yeah.
like, it's a pleasurable experience.
And yeah, like what
You're
you
like,
said. when,
this is great.
yeah, right? And then like when like if weird shit happens or whatever, like sometimes you're both sweaty and your stomachs rub up against each other and it sounds like a fart and you're like,
Yeah,
like that's funny. That is funny. But yeah, like I think it's not weird to smile during sex at all.
Yeah, I mean, if you're
Like don't make that the only thing you do during sex.
Right.
Like don't just hold a smile the whole time.
it's better than the alternative.
That
You don't
makes
want
it
somebody frowning.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely true. You're right.
You know.
You're right.
And if you're with somebody, you're having sex with somebody, and you can laugh together, I think that's great.
Yeah. Pick a good person.
That just means you're comfortable, and you're having a good time.
Bobby jokes, like bringing in the deep thinking questions.
Was.
Well done.
I feel very adultish.
Yeah, right? Between the monkeys question and that, like, I don't know. The next week's worth of answers is going to have a lot to live up to. Mm-hmm. Okay, on the Twitter, I am at Alex J. Middleton. Bobby Jokes is at Robert Barbosa 03. Dinah, you're at Dinah Powers.
Correct. Yes.
All together.
Yeah. DINAH Powers.
DINAH Powers. If you want to submit some questions for the answer segment, you can either tweet them to us at Pass the Gravy Pod, maybe throw in a hashtag answers. You can also email them to us, answers@passthegravypod.com, and we will read every single one. Like we threw some bonus ones in because we got to get to them all, but we will read them. If we haven't read yours yet, we will get to it. I told everybody all of our Twitter stuff. PassTheGravyMerch.com. Fucking go buy some shirts, guys.
Yeah.
Go buy some shirts. It's football season. You want to support your team and your favorite podcast. Do that. Dinah, you got anything else for us?
No, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
I'd love to
enjoyed
get you
it
back
very
on
much.
sometime too. That'd be cool. We
I
should
don't
do like a Rod Ryan show, Pass the Gravy show as well. That would be awful because we would just all be talking over each other probably.
Yeah, and we already, I feel like, talk enough to each other.
And we swear a lot when we're
single
talking.
day. Yeah.
And then people would just look at us differently. I
The
think.
things that we talk about are not. Barney's chewing on something.
That's cool.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
The things that we talk about off of the air are not for
always appropriate.
audiences.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe sometime, yeah.
Yeah. So, thanks again for coming on the pod.
Yeah, thanks for having me, bud.
Until next week, motherfuckers, pass the gravy. Bitches!
Shorty, it's your birthday. You're gonna party like it's your birthday. Sip a Bacardi like it's your birthday.